Hey guys, Metal Jesus here, and today I'm very excited to be back with an update to my stand-up Mame arcade cabinet. I absolutely love this thing, but it's been a while since I did anything new to it, and so all of that changes today. In this video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to be installing a new widescreen monitor that rotates. That's going to be pretty cool, as well as put a brand new computer in there. And I'm also going to update the software, plus make a couple little tweaks here and there. Now, a little bit of background of this thing. Well, this journey all started back in 2012 with my good buddy Drunken Master Paul. We bought a beat-up, non-working arcade from Craigslist. Then we gutted it, painted it, and then we got it running Hyperspin with a PC on the inside. Again, the idea was to buy something fairly cheap and convert it over to a stand-up Mame machine. And I think this was a pretty good first attempt. We didn't know exactly what we're doing. We were just kind of flying by the seat of our pants, but I did enjoy it a lot at the time. 5 years later, in 2017, I worked with Launchbox to put a brand new Dell computer in there. So this was all new hardware, and then it was also running new software for me. And what I particularly like about this one is that it was designed to be just turn on and play. You didn't have to worry about using a keyboard and mouse or even touch Windows at all once it was set up, because for me, I really wanted this to be accessible at parties, right? So people could walk up and just using the controller, get around and do everything that they need, and it worked really well. But like I said, there was some things that could be improved. So for this one, I had two real goals. I've never really been happy with that monitor in there. While it's a decent 4x3 screen and it plays horizontal games just fine, it's never really been great for vertical shooters, which is what I love playing. I'm feeling kind of greedy here. I want something that would do both. That was the challenge. Also, the monitor is a little small. You can see it in this footage here where there's big bezels on all four sides. I just felt like, isn't there a better way we can use this space? And you know, I gotta pull in my buddy Drunken Master Paul to help out with this.
This is my tech support shirt. Then I have another one that says I fix stuff and I know things. It's what I do. I'll wear that when I'm actually building this damn thing.
And so I brought Paul over to look at the machine kind of with fresh eyes and let him take a look at it. I showed him the old monitor as well as this new widescreen Dell monitor I bought to replace it. The good news is that this monitor fits both horizontally and also vertically. However, the key is, how are we going to rotate this?
Whatever this is supported on, and handles here, so you can pick this up, just manually turn it, and slot it in like that. That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If possible.
Because we can't pivot.
Correct.
Because of that. Damn you, geometry. Okay.
My initial thought was that we would somehow integrate in the stand that monitor comes with, because that stand actually does rotate. So I was thinking maybe we could do that, but nah, that wouldn't have worked.
Okay, so this time, instead of using a bunch of foam and braces and, wall switches for power, I kind of want to do this one right. So the plan is, since this will be nice and square, I'm going to build back a square bezel that goes in here. Like I said, with handles, so we can just turn it either way. And that way, it'll be super easy and it'll look nice. I know, this is me saying it.
Yeah, I'm shocked, but also very pleased, so.
Coming at you, I don't know what's going to happen next.
It's like how I compliment you and insult you at the same time.
Yeah, it would be maddening if it wasn't just so true.
As far as the cables go, because they're coming out of the bottom, I wonder if you should take cables with you just to make sure, or do you need that in your...
I'm so not worried about that.
Okay.
Because the only cables you're going to need is this one and the power.
Yes, correct.
And is there a speaker out, audio out?
I think it's going to use that.
Yeah, so I just won't block any of that.
Paul took some measurements, took the monitor, and came back a couple weeks later.
All right, dude. So here is what I put together for you. Thought it came out pretty good.
Looks awesome. It looks sturdy.
Yep.
Look at those handles. I love it.
Easy. God, almost looks like I knew what I was doing.
I know. And you made it easy for me.
Yeah. That's apparently my goal in life.
It is.
To make things easy for
you know me so well. I really scored on this monitor. I went down to RePC and I bought this Dell 24-inch monitor that has a resolution of 1920 by 1200 and it runs at 60 hertz. It's got a crazy amount of inputs. I love old monitors like this because it supports DVI, VGA, S-Video, composite, and component. So I was able to find a VGA to HDMI cable.
Wow.
I know. Why they made these, I have no idea. Actually, they probably made them for projectors and things like that.
Yeah. I actually have a couple of these for my Halloween projectors.
Oh, really?
Because I use old projectors for that because they're cheap.
Okay, well,
I use these.
We're going to use this for this monitor.
I think this is one of the few times in my life I've actually screwed these things in.
I know, because every time you do, like 2 minutes later, you're like, why did I screw that in?
Now I've got to take it out and move it.
Yeah.
I remember at Sierra, we never did.
I know. Look at that.
Oh, looks really good.
It does, isn't it? Looks like Winders.
Yay!
Yay! I also wanted to upgrade the computer. Now, the old computer actually worked fine, but it's just big and probably overkill at this point. You know, we're going on many years here since this was first installed back in 2017, and computers have come a long ways, especially those mini PCs that you find all over the place. Those are shockingly powerful, they're quiet, and often they're cheaper. So I was really curious if a mini PC was going to be a viable alternative today to, say, putting a full-on tower in there. What I ended up going with is a Minisforum UM780XTX mini PC. So this is a AMD Ryzen 7, and it comes with a Radeon 780M integrated graphics processor. So essentially it's kind of like a mobile, like a mobile computer here, a mobile chip. This particular one here comes with 32 gigabytes of RAM, which is probably a little bit of overkill. You don't necessarily need that, I would think. It does have a 1 terabyte internal hard drive in there, so it's got plenty of room, and it's running Windows 11 Home. And this mini PC right here, as configured, typically sells for about $600, although they go on sale all the time. Now, for comparison, the previous computer in there was a Dell XPS 8900, which was rocking an Intel Core i7 processor running at 3.4 gigahertz and only had 16 gigabytes of RAM, and that was running Windows 10 Home. And I was curious about the performance difference between those two computers. I definitely didn't want to take a step down, especially considering I'm going from a full-size desktop computer to a new mini PC, but perhaps the performance benchmarks were to be expected. The mini PC does extremely well. The first thing I did was run Cinebench on both of these, and man, the multi-core score from the mini PC completely just blows away that older Dell. Now, I suppose that's not super surprising because newer computers are just packing in more cores, and so you see here, it's just destroying that old Dell when it comes to multi-cores. And then single core performance is almost 60% faster with that mini PC. So I'm pretty confident that this computer is going to do just fine with pretty much everything I throw at it. The other thing I want to mention is that one of the things I wanted to be able to do here was to be able to play newer modern games if I wanted to. I don't need to, but it's nice that that mini PC can also run newer games as well as older retro stuff. It's pretty flexible. I also made the decision to put all of the games and ROMs on an external drive this time. I didn't technically have to do that because that mini PC does have 1 terabyte of storage inside of it. However, I want this to be more flexible and also potentially play PC games, at least have all of these things on one external drive. So that's why I did that. The final touch is mounting that power strip on the inside there. It's a small thing, but it's easier to get to now, having it actually attached right there. I don't have to bend down quite as far or dig around in case it gets bumped or moved. So we're going to put this in here to kind of elevate it a little bit, just because we feel like we should, because there's so much space for now, but that's the plan.
Yeah, just like young Frankenstein, need to be elevated.
Look at that.
Wow. So we're going to add little Castlevania mat on there.
Nice. That's good use of that.
I like it.
Make sure it doesn't slide around. Jazz up the place a little bit.
Yeah. So we can do that, or we can do it front to back. I think I kind of like front to back better.
Okay.
Mr. Monitor. There we go. Then we have, what the hell is this? It is Mr. Power. All right.
Oh, that's for the monitor. Okay.
Yeah, which I call Austin. All right.
We're going to use the keyboard and mouse for now because we have to configure it. But that is it.
All right.
Plenty of room. How you feeling on this? What's the percentage?
92%.
Wow.
I'm feeling pretty confident on this one.
Okay.
I hope I didn't just jinx later janks.
Well, you know what? I do know one thing.
Oh.
We wouldn't have got very far without that. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's do it. There we go. We have juice. We have juice. We have Dell.
Adele. We have Adele.
Adele.
Yeah, she's gonna show up later and sing songs for us.
Sing a song.
Little rock
Ooh.
band. Mimi's Forum. We're going back to Mimi's Forum. Yeah, that looks like a fortress or something, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like Mimi's Tirith, but it's where the ministers of Minas Tirith met the governance. They met at the Mimi's Forum.
See, now you're just making stuff up.
I'm absolutely making stuff up, but it's convincing, isn't it?
Oh, you know, okay. That looks good. It looks good. Dude, this looks really good.
I'm super happy with the way this turned out.
So how'd you do it?
Do you prefer narration or montage?
I'm thinking narration.
Narration it is! Okay, so Metal Jesus wanted to redo the bezel around the monitor and the monitor itself on his Mame arcade, and I was happy to rise to the challenge. I thought of a couple different ways we could do this, and I decided the best way was to get a piece of melamine, which is kind of like the stuff that cabinets are built out of. It's particle board with a facing on it, and just basically cut a hole in it and mount the monitor that way. Now, first of all, I cut the board down to the right size, which we measured at least 63 times, 23.5 inches on a side, if you must know. Worked out where the monitor would go in the center of that board, traced that, and then traced another line about a ½ inch inside of that. Then I cut the inside line out, and then I took my router. Once I'd cut the little shelf for the monitor to fit in, and trimmed off all the bits so it would actually fit in there. Now I had to figure out how to mount the actual monitor on the actual board. And to do that, I originally was going to do some kind of real trailer park 2x4 backstrap on it, but then it occurred to me that the case of the monitor probably comes off and I could mount some kind of bracket, which is exactly what I did. I just popped off the back of the monitor, then I fabricated a couple of 90-degree brackets, measured out where the brackets would fit while the monitor was in place, drilled some holes, and then used flush mount rivets to secure the bracket onto the monitor case. Once that was done, it was just a matter of putting it all back together, dropping it back into its little groove on the melamine board, and screwing it into place. Now we just have to work out how to flip the thing around, and to do that, I got these really nice metal cabinet pulls. I just center those on either side of the bezel, screw them into place, and there we go. All put together, and if I may say so, I think it's looking pretty damn good. So here's the idea. This is the whole reason you had me build it and build this way. Let's see how successful we may or may not be. And we're lifting, and we're lifting. Kind of really hard to make sure we don't pop any cables out. We're turning. We're turning.
Okay. Oh, okay. Underneath the cables might. There we go.
Got it?
Okay.
Reinserting, and we're reinserting.
Look at that. It's beautiful.
I boned everybody.
Yeah, this is what I wanted. This looks very good.
You want to watch me lose? Is that what that was all about? Wow, you just jumped in there and started playing, dude. Did it work on the first try?
I'm shocked. It's working.
96% call. I don't think Vegas would have given me a lot of money on that. But damn, dude, look at that.
I doubted you. I really did. I mean, you know, for no real apparent reason other than
experience.
Well, and the fact you were relying on me for some of the stuff, which, you know, the computer aspect of it, so I didn't know. But yeah, this is rocking right here. This is awesome. The other thing I'm doing is upgrading the version of Launchbox Premium from 12.6 to 13.12. That's a pretty big jump and has way more fixes and features than I could possibly list in this video, but what they've done is just expanded everything that this thing supports, both in arcade as well as emulators, like I said, bug fixes, and supporting different types of systems, both GOG and also Steam, old and new MS-DOS games. It's just across the board a much better product. And really the big thing that I use with the premium edition is big box mode. And that is basically the mode where it strips out all of the Windows stuff. It boots you right into an interface that's designed to be sitting on one of these arcade cabs using only the controller. And that's exactly what I want. Another thing that I wanted to address with this build was to enable scanlines across all of my Mame games. And that seems probably like a duh kind of moment. Like, yeah, why would you not do that in the past? And, you know, to be quite honest, you know, when I first got this set up, I was getting used to playing games without scanlines, and it was only when I had a bunch of people over at my house and they were standing up and using this thing that I realized that, no, this is actually all about nostalgia. You want the scanlines to be there. That's how it's supposed to look. That's how you remember it. And so that's absolutely what I turn on. And now I'm like, yeah, I should have done this years ago. Now, once you dig into scanlines, there are a bunch of options and opinions that people have on this. I ultimately went with HLSL option in Mame because that one specifically is designed for people who are going to be doing what I do, which is play these games both horizontally and vertically. So there's scanlines that are designed to look good in any of those orientations. And I have to say, it does make a huge difference. They all look fantastic.
I smell green cheese. Is that Moon Patrol?
I love this game so much. I love it because the difficulty isn't horrible. Like, you can beat this game, you know, relatively easily.
Yeah, you can get at least through one round of it on a quarter.
Yeah. What I love about the setup here is that games like this look even better because they have less bezel than previously. Mm-hmm. Like it's huge. Like it looks really good. Eventually, I would love to actually put in like a trackball because I am a massive fan of, you know, Centipede, Marble Madness. I mean, Missile Command. I love that. So eventually, we might do that.
Yes. So this my buddy Glenn sent me a bunch of stuff, and including this really, really high quality trackball. And so I think this should be our next project.
Yeah,
to get this in.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah. We just don't have room in the current controller to do so, and so that's the problem. Is we'd have to probably, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but we'd have to kind of like make our own. We'd have to... Yeah,
pretty much so. I think the plan would be to essentially take the guts out of that X-Arcade and then just build a bespoke cabinet for that and just reuse all the parts. And then just kind of stick this in the middle. Because this is USB and it should just be plug and play.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. And he's got a bunch of other stuff too.
Oh my god.
Dude, I know. Well, we're looking through it right now, like dreaming as to what we could do in the future, including like Tron.
Yeah.
Like this one right here, he has like a original
Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's a replacement for the Star Wars game. This thing,
it is heavy. It's like solid. It's pretty cool.
You could brain a caribou with that thing.
Oh, I know.
But no, he does some really quality stuff, and I'm looking forward to playing with this stuff in the future. I'm definitely doing a Tron cabinet.
Oh, dude, I know. You totally should. Well, thank you so much, buddy, for doing this, man.
Hey.
You knocked it out of the park. I'm so excited. Like, you've upgraded the main machine.
I'm super happy to get the tools out again and bring this up to speed. And I think the only thing really missing is a MetalJesusRocks party where we can show this off to our friends.
That can happen. That can happen. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Take care.